Good evening. Thank you. 1 year ago, I introduced my father when he declared his candidacy in his own way and through his own sheer force of will. He sacrificed greatly to enter the political arena as an outsider, as he rebelled against a field of 16 very talented competitors. For more than a year, Donald Trump has been the people's champion, and tonight he is a people nominee. Like many of my fellow millennials, I don't consider myself categorically Republican or Democrat, more than party. Affiliation, I vote based on what I believe is right for my family and for my country. Sometimes it's a tough choice, it is the case this time. As the proud daughter of your nominee, I'm here to tell you that it is the moment, and Donald Trump is a person to make America great again. Real change, the kind we have not seen in decades, is going to come from outside the system. And it's only going to come from a man who spends his entire life doing what others said could not be done. My father is a fighter. When the primaries got tough and they were tough, he did what any great leader does. He dug deeper, worked harder, but better, and became stronger. I have seen him fight for his family. I have seen him fight for his employees. I have seen him fight for his company. And now I'm seeing him fight for our country. It's been a story of his life, and more recently, the spirit of his campaign. It's a real prelude to reaching the goal that unites it all. With his party is better still, country knows what is it like to win again. It is impossible to be famous and yet not really well done. And this cried a father who raised me in the same office at Trump Tower where we now work together, and remember building the floor by my father's deck, constructing miniature building with Legos and erector sets. Well, he did the same with concrete, steel, and glass. My father taught my siblings and me the importance of positive values and a strong ethical compass. He showed us how to be resilient, how to deal with challenges, and how to strive for excellence in all what we do. He taught us that there is nothing that we cannot accomplish if we marry vision and passion with an enduring work ethic. One of my father's greatest talents is the ability to see potential in people before they see it in themselves. It was like that for us growing up. He taught us that potential vanishes into nothing without effort. And like him, we each have a responsibility to work not just for ourselves, but for the betterment of the world around us. Over the years, on too many occasions to count, I saw my father tear stories out of the newspaper about the people whom he had never met, who were facing some injustice or hardships. He'd write a note to his assistants in a signature black felt-up pen and request that the person to be found and invited to Trump Tower to meet with him. He would talk to them, and then draw upon his extensive network to find them a job, or to get them a break, and they would leave his office, as people so often do, after having been with Donald Trump, feeling that life could be great again. Throughout my entire life, I have witnessed his empathy and generosity towards others, especially those who are suffering. It is just his way of being in your corner when you are down. My father not only has the strength and ability necessary to be our next president, but also the kindness and compassion that will be enable him to be the leader that his country needs. My father has a sense of fairness that touches every conviction he's told. I worked alongside of him and worked for now more than a decade at the Tran organization, and I've seen how he operates as a leader, making important decisions that shape careers and that change lives. I've learned a lot about the world from walking construction jobs by his side. When run properly, the construction sites are true meritocracies. Competence in the building trades is easy to spot, and incompetence is impossible to hide. These sites are also incredible melting pots, gathering people from all walks of life and uniting them to work towards a single mission. There have always been men on the background and ethnicities of my father's job sites, and long before it was commonplace, you also saw women. My father values talent. He recognizes real knowledge and skill when he finds it. He is colorblind and gender neutral. He hires the best person for the job, period. Words and promises, no matter how visionary they sound, will only get you so far. In our business, you're not a builder unless you've got a building to show for it. Or in my father's case, city skylines. Most people strive their entire lives to achieve great success in a single industry. My father has succeeded in many of the highest level and on a global scale. One of the reasons he has thrived as an entrepreneur is because he listens to everyone. Billionaire executives usually ask the people doing the work for the opinion of the work. My father is an exception. On every one of his projects, you will see him talking to the super, the painter, the engineers, the electricians. He asks them for their feedback. If they think something should be done differently or it could be done better. When Donald Trump is in charge, all that counts is ability, effort, and excellence. This has long been the philosophy at the Trump organization. At my father's company, there are more female than male executives. Women are paid equally for the work that we do. And when a woman becomes a mother, she is supported, not shut down. Women represent 46% of the total U.S. labor force, and 40% of the American households have female primary breadwinners. In 2014, women made 83% of every dollar made by the men. Single women without children earn 94 cents on each dollar, whereas married women make only 77 cents. As researchers have noted, gender is no longer the factor creating the greatest wage discrepancy in this country. Motherhood is. As president, my father would change the labor laws that were put into place at a time when women were not a significant portion of the workforce, and we focus on making quality childcare affordable and accessible for all. As a mother myself of 3 young children, I know how hard it is to work while raising a family, and I also know that I'm far more fortunate than most. American families need relief. Policies that allow women with children to thrive should not be novelties, they should be the norm. Politicians talk about wage equality, but my father has made it a practice at his company throughout his entire career. He will fight for equal pay for the equal work. and he will fight for this too right alongside of him. Americans today need an economy that permits people to rise again. A Trump presidency will turn the economy around and restore the great American tradition, giving each new generation hope for brighter opportunities than those of the generations that came before. In Donald Trump, you have a candidate who knows the difference between wanting something done and making it happen. When my father says he will build a tower, keep an eye on the skyline. Floor by floor, a soaring structure will appear. Usually record setting is its height and iconic in its design. Real people are hired to do real work. Visions become reality. When my father says he will make the America great again, he will deliver. We have a chance this year to reclaim our heritage as a country that dreams big and makes the impossible happen. Fortunately, Donald Trump is incapable of thinking small. When I was a child, my father always told me, Ivanka, if you're going to be thinking anyway, you might as well think big. As president, my father will take on the bold and worthy fights. He will be unafraid to set lofty goals and will be relentless in his determination to achieve them. To people all over America, I say, when you have my father in your corner, you will never again have to worry about being let down. He will fight for you at a time, all the way, every time. Made its developer in him, but Donald Trump cannot stand to see empty cement streets or boarded up factories. He can't bear the injustice of college graduates who are crippled by student debt and mothers who can't afford the child care required to return to work to better the lives of their families. Other politicians see these hardships, see the unfairness of it all, and they say, I feel for you. Only my father will say, I will fight for you. The hard-working man and working in this country identify with my father. He is tough and he is persevering. He is honest and he is real. He is an optimist and he is a relentless believer in America. And he's all of her potential. He loves his family and he loves his country with his heart and his soul. Politicians ask to be judged by their promises, not their results. I asked you to judge my father by his results. Judge his values, those he instilled in his children. Judge his competency by the towers he's built, the companies founded, the tens of thousands of work he's created. He's the single most qualified to serve as the chief executive of an $18 trillion economy. My father will call upon the best and the brightest people from sphere and industry on both sides of the aisles, a new set of thinkers to face our country's existing and future problems. Refresh the perspective and bring new solutions. Come January 17th, all things will be possible again. We can hope and dream and think big again. No one has more faith in American people than my father. He will be your greatest, your truest, and your most loyal champion. It is the fighter, the doer that have chosen as your nominee in ways no one expected. In a moment in life, a country has defined a mission and given it to the extraordinary man. He is ready to see it all the way through, to speak to every man and every woman in every background in every part of this great country, to earn your trust and to earn your votes. He earned that and much more from me a long time ago. I've loved and respected him my entire life. I could not be more proud tonight to present to you, to all of America, my father and our next president.